Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I am busy doing the sleeves on the little cardigan, but I'm doing a tutorial. But I've done both the back and the front, you know, it's all in one, the whole thing. The back and the front are all done all in one piece, up to the armholes, and then naturally you have to separate it to do the armhole shaping. And now I'm working out I've done the little video up to that far up the cardigan, and I've got the sleeves to do now. But when I do the tutorial, I knit, when I come to the sleeves, I knit the sleeve first to make sure I get all the instructions right. You know, like how many times you have to decrease on the how many times you have to increase, how many rows in between, and then how many rows in between the decreasing. I think the first two is going to be the first four, the fourth row and the eighth row. It's actually the fifth row and the ninth row, because you go 2 times for the cast off the stitches and then 2 more rows, so it's actually the fifth row, but there's 4 rows in between. I'm going to do that twice, I think. So I'll do one sleeve first and work out all the measurements and everything that I have to do, and then I'll do the second sleeve, but I'll do that as a tutorial because I've already worked everything out to show you. That's the way I work things. It'll not take long because it's just plain knitting. There's no I thought about doing a cable up the sleeve, but I thought that's quite a wide cable that I've done on there, so I thought I'll just do the sleeves plain. If it was just maybe a single one, I might have done it, but with a double one like that, it's going to bring the sleeve in, you know, narrower. So I'm just doing this, and like I say, I'm up to the decreasing. I've just started and I've done cast the stitches off both sides and then done another 2 rows and 1 decrease, and I'm doing another on the next 4th row, and then it'll be every alternate row, I think, until I have about 7 stitches. What I do is, to work out how many rows I have to do, I actually count up the on the back how many decreases I did from the cast off stitches up to the neck. There's actually 15 decreases altogether in there, so I work that out in the sleeve so that the sleeve measures the same as the back, and the same with the front, the front piece. When I do that, I work out the number of decreases up there before I start the neck part, so I know to get it exact, because you don't want one piece, you know, say having like 15 decreases in the back and then doing the sleeve and having, say, 16 or 17, the sleeve's going to come higher up. So you have to work it out before you start. That's how I work things out anyway. Then a lot of counting. Put that back where it was. And I was at my bingo last night, and I won last night. It was only £5, but we do houses where they have a £5 line and £20 house. I think they could knock £5 off the £20 house and make it £10, because I have to half that with my friend, so we only had £2.50 to come home with last night. But it's better than nothing. But before that, my granddaughter rang me. Well, it was on the Wednesday actually, or one day. She asked if I was going to be in. Should be sometime this week. She says, I'm coming up to yours. So she messaged me on Thursday and to see if I was in, and I said, well, I'm not going out till 10 to 7, so I says, as long as you're here before that. So when she did come, so I had her for lunch, and she came just before lunchtime and a little while, and so they knew there had to be a reason for her visit. And I want to use your Nana. Yeah, printer Nana. I've got no ink left in mine. It's a good job she's my granddaughter, I think. So she had to print out. She has an Etsy shop, and she was wanting to print out she makes scrunchies and slides and, you know, things for your hair and earrings and things like that. She works with resin and that, and she wanted to print out some labels to put on the things she was selling. Of course, my printers is a very good one. I don't have cartridges in mine which don't last 5 minutes. I have bottles of ink, and those bottles of ink go a long way. I think when I first got the printer, there was a set of ink come with it. The four bottles of black, the blue, the red, and the yellow. You know, the names they have are magenta and colours, names like that. It actually lasted 2 years in my printer. But I had to buy some more recently, but because I'm printing out patterns, knitting patterns all the time, they don't last as long as they used to. But they still last a long time. I think they've been lasting about a year, which is an awful long time, and I did not pay. The first set of bottles I actually bought cost me £48. They were £12 for each bottle. But these ones, I looked on the internet for cheaper versions and that, and I got the whole lot for less than £15. So that's pretty good for what I print on it now for all my knitting patterns and that. And this one will be a knitting pattern when it's finished. But you know it's going to be another rotten day today. Rotten rain. Where's my phone? I'll show you the weather I've got for today. I'll bring up my picture. Where is it? There. As you can see, those dark clouds with the rain clouds, that's rain. At least it's not until 4 o'clock, according to my phone. But my phone said things like that and they never happened at the same time. And then the next day, tomorrow, Saturday, we have rain from 11 o'clock, according to my phone, with thunder and lightning as well. You can see the little lightning signs on the clouds. And temperature, you know, for this time of year, 17, in fact some of it is 15, 16, 17 degrees. It should be in the 20s. I think we're paying for that little bit hot weather we had in June. I think we're paying for it now with this rotten rain. And I think that's for days. A little bit rain, not so much on Sunday, but more rain again on Monday. Rain again on Tuesday. I think I'll just be forgetting about my garden this year. I don't think I'm going to get anything done in it. I do not work in rain, rotten, wet weather. And all that rain I've got today, I hope I don't get any knitting patterns to sell, because when I get them I walk up to the post box at the top of my estate. It's about an 8-minute. Yes, about 10 minutes there and back up to the top of my estate and back home again. I'll be soaked. Even when it's heavy rain, even if I get my car out, I have to, which I might do if I did have knitting patterns, but I have to walk up to my drive gates, open the drive gates, walk back down again to open my garage door. By the time I get in my car, I'm soaking. So I think if I get any knitting patterns to sell today, I think I'll just wait until tomorrow to post them, when I would probably be out and doing a little bit shopping anyway, so I can post them then. I think I've done that I've done 4 rows, so I'm onto my decreasing on every row now. Not every row, every other row, every alternate row. And it'll not take long. Once I've finished this, get it sorted, the whole finish for the PDF, I can probably work out the other 2 sizes, because I'm only doing 16, 18 and 20 inch on this. That's that kind of thing like that, where I do it all in one. I only do the 3 sizes in them. I don't do any other larger sizes. I do the pieces, you know, like 5 pieces all together to cardigans, or 4 if that's sweaters. But I could maybe start sorting some patterns out for sweaters out, because we'll be getting the colder weather before long, and maybe sweaters. And I usually wear sweaters all the time in the winter anyway. But I'm going to work out some of my adult patterns, because I have done a lot of cardigans and sweaters in different sizes, orders I've had. In fact, some of the things I've done for myself as well, I've jotted quick notes down, so a lot of them I would have to work out the patterns, whatever, because most of them I know, I just have the number of stitches. I just know how many stitches I'm going to start with and how much is decreasing. And I don't really write anything down for any patterns that I do, because they're in my head and I know how to do them without writing them down, which I never did for myself. But that was before I started doing all these orders and that for people. And after that I started writing down, if I was doing a pattern, I wrote the row by row the patterns down. So I'll have to go through all my notes and see if I can work out some for adult ones, because to do patterns for adult sweaters I like to knit. For children's ones I like to knit them first, write them down as I'm knitting them, so I'll make sure I get them right. But the adult ones take too long to knit. I would never have time to do any patterns for the length of time it takes to do the knitting, because I'd be doing, one in each size, and so I'll have to try and work them out from my instructions for how many inches I did for this, and how many stitches I had on. Because people keep asking me for if I'm doing some adult patterns, and don't realise it takes a lot of time. It'd be alright if I had a load of people knitting these things for me. I would tell them what to knit, but I haven't got that, so I have to do them myself. Anyway, that was just a little bit to let you know what I've been up to and what I'm going to be up to. I won't be at my granddaughter's this Sunday, so I'll be sitting in my house knitting all day, because I think she said she has some sort of baby shower she has to go to, and so she won't be in Sunday. And I think Craig takes the kids to his mother's, so they get their dinner there. So and when I was coming home from the bingo last night, I could see all these road diversion signs on my way down. Oh God, I says, I'm going to have to go through a diversion. What on earth are they doing on that A1? It's been almost a year since it was supposed to be finished, but when I came down, I was actually, the cones actually let me onto the A1, but we're going across all the lanes, and they left one lane open, and that one lane was open practically up to I think it was one slip road before the one I take to get off the thing. So they must have been working on one side of the road and had just left one lane open for everybody. I thought, oh, thank goodness for that. It's twice as long when I have to go through the diversions, and it really annoys me. So I still got home it was still quite light when I got home. We left about quarter to 10. And I think it was just before 10:15 by the time I got home, so I was happy about that. They can have as many diversions as they like, as long as they leave that one lane open for me to get all the way home. So that's just my little bit for today. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.